Welcome in, everybody, to the Challenge After Show tonight. Jenna, Pamela, and I are talking about the Challenge Season 40, Episode 2 of Battle of the Eras, Part 2 of the Era Invitational. Wow. And yes, Pamela, when it started, it went right into the eliminations. I know you were concerned when you started the episode. What happened? What's going on?
There was an episode in I think season 39 that it began with the elimination on Amazon Prime, and it was
Okay.
like the last 5 minutes were put in the first 5 minutes. That happened to a lot of
It was like
viewers.
a glitch or
It was
something.
literally, it was the last 5 minutes of the show, not the first 5 minutes.
Hmm.
And I was like, is this some sort of flashback? Is this? And that's what I was thinking. This had just launched into I'm hoping for, Kellyanne to win. And I was like, what? So
Right.
they just launched right into the episode without showing us the deliberation, which then I learned they did in flashbacks. But I was like, is this the end of the episode? Am I watching the eliminations without seeing everything that leads up to it? So I
Yeah.
was scared, and thank you both for
Yeah,
Well, let's welcome.
everybody, Pam was very concerned,
Yes.
expected us freaking out, didn't know what was happening. And when I first put on the episode last night, I thought the same thing. I thought that, I watch on my sister's YouTube TV. So I thought maybe I jumped in halfway through the episode. I paused it. I was like, wait, let me go back. Oh, wait, no, this is the beginning of the episode. So I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about that at first, but I actually loved the format because I loved going in with a surprise. You kind of had a feeling based on how the chamber went with some of these conversations. You kind of knew which way it was going to sway. So I think that they knew we were going to lose the total element of surprise. However, it did make you wonder why they picked the way that they did. And I like that there was more of a surprise reveal there.
Yeah, the flashbacks were awesome. I'm so happy they did it. At first, I was like, oh, they just spoiled who's in the eliminations, though, because when they walk in, they're wearing their elimination uniform versus just street clothing. So it's like, oh, well, but they try to do a good job of hiding that, though, a little bit too. But then, Tori out of nowhere, she's like, yeah, Amanda's going to go down there against Nia and she's going to lose. I'm like, wait, oh, wait, Amanda's going down there. That was a finalized thing. We'll learn about this later, apparently, and we did. But so that one threw me off. But overall, this show is off to a solid. I'm giving it at least a 8.5 out of 10 for the first two episodes. Just really enjoyable, fun format, good drama. And I obviously have a few complaints. I wouldn't be Danny Drama if I didn't have something to complain about. So we'll get into that. We can start off with, I mean, they're going to do 4 eliminations. They announced that it's going to be 4 classic eliminations, one from
Yeah.
each era. And I thought this was hilarious to start off because you got Balls In from era 1, classic,
Yes,
which
that's one of my favorite eliminations of all time. But I don't like, and maybe they did this on past
I
seasons,
knew
but
you were going to, I was going to bring this up too, Jenna. I knew it. I
I
knew you were going to bring this up.
remember the point counting if you got the ball into the basket, not
Thank
into a
you.
rope circle outside of the basket. So I thought that that was a really lame loophole,
They've
literal,
done this.
figuratively and literally.
This isn't the first time they've done it. They've done it in the past where now you only have to fall into that circle and then the person just has to be like, oh, I'm going to give up now. You can just place it into the basket. My point of it was get rid of the basket. Just let them fall into a circle. It shouldn't be called balls in. It should be called lie in the middle inner circle. It doesn't even matter anymore. Very disappointing.
Cross the line, like a touchdown. If you just get the ball over the line, then
There it is. That's what it should be. They should get rid of that stupid barrel in the middle. There's no purpose for it. It makes no sense. All you have to do is cross the line with the ball in your hand, just like in football. But yeah.
Yeah, we didn't see the girls necessarily go that route. So I forgot that there was that rope circle.
The first round that Amanda got when she got in there and she just kind of stood there and then Nia gave up. I'm like, why isn't Nia tackling her out of the circle? And then I realized, oh crap, they're doing it where as long as they make it in the circle, they have to just leave them alone and then they place it in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's lame.
Yep. Number 2 was pole wrestle. They couldn't change anything about this one. That was from era 2. A hall brawl was introduced during era 3. And then the best they could come up with from what was introduced in era 4 was take shelter, which I'm sorry, I guess nothing else was, they didn't come up with anything new in era 4 that was worth keeping around. But again, era 4 coming up a little shy on the on the classic channel. I don't want to watch Take
Shine.
Shelter.
No
Get
one
out of
knows
here.
what take shelter is. I thought it was the punch and climb, punch and climb.
Oh,
Where
Like
they
the
said,
punch and climb one, yeah.
was that from era
yeah,
4 or era 3
I
though?
don't know what era, but when
I
Probably
they
2 or
said
think
3.
shelter, I thought it was
I
like,
think era 3 because remember Jordan kind of made that famous when he went against, was it Johnny Bananas in that and lost? I don't know. I think that might have been era 3, but I'm sure someone in the comments will tell us where we're wrong there. But I
I
don't think that's it.
remember Kayla and Anissa doing that one time when Anissa had like a busted up ankle. I remember she sprained her ankle and then she had to go into that where, or maybe that there was a different variation where there was like a chain wrapped around her ankle and there was like weights, they also had to,
Mm.
they had that element where there was something dragging their ankle down.
Did Bananas go against Wes in that one, or was that not the one they remember they had to go head? They were like buddies all season and they had to go head to
Mm.
head and they lost. I don't think it was that though. I think it was something not as cool.
Cara
But
Maria have to go into that with a broken hand once. Bananas
uh
and Laurel once again voted
Yes.
her in with a broken hand. I don't know if that was the elimination, but I remember it being like really brutal.
I
It was
remember
definitely
Hunter
something
having
with
to do,
punching a wall.
didn't
Yeah.
Hunter have to do something with
Hunter's
his broken
wrist.
hand in an elimination too?
Yeah.
Hunter had some issue.
Well, he
Um,
did a final, I think a final with a broken wrist. Like I think he
like
opted
nowadays
it.
they'd send you home for that, but not
Yeah.
then. They let Hunter just ride it out.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about in how these matchups went though. Like this
Oh
was
yeah.
also once I realized this was going to be an episode just of eliminations, I wasn't quite sure how I was going to feel about that. It was amazing. I don't care.
Yep.
It was really good.
Because they realized if we don't intersplice this with the flashbacks, you're just gonna watch 8 eliminations and like do people want to watch that many eliminations? I don't need to. So the flashbacks were perfect and they showed really good stuff. Like the Amanda stuff, I know I wish she could have lasted a little longer because she's great drama. I know Pam doesn't care. Pam loves that she's gone. But she is Tina said it. Tina said she brings like she's the only one that's speaking the truth. We need someone like that.
No,
I
Dan,
liked
I
it.
have
True.
Really.
She's speaking a whole lot of bullshit.
It is, but it's funny. I
No
like
one's-
it.
All right, let me jump in here because Corey and Tori, everything she's saying is complete bullshit because they didn't do what she wants. They're flip flop, unloyal, new friends every season. It's like Tori's still number one close with her ex fiance. If they're nothing, Corey will do anything for Nelly. They're nothing if not loyal because they don't like, because Tori doesn't like you, her enemy, Amanda, who's horrible to her. She's fake. Like, what are you talking about?
No, I
Amanda's
think
fake is
Amanda was
bullshit.
more. Amanda was upset at Corey for not sticking up for her because apparently we didn't see any of this. Amanda claims that maybe her and Corey had a deal when they came into the season that they were going to like try to stand up for each other in that group because of the other cliques in it. Maybe I'm just hey, look, ladies, don't kill the messenger. That's what it sounded
yeah.
like.
It sounded like, but that had to have been really thin because even Corey face to face is like, you got to give me more than that. I know we both love him. We're both friends with him, but that's not really like going to be our undying connection in this game. Amanda got under my skin so much this episode, and it made me feel like, is she delusional or is this all just a rage bit? Like she knows her place on the show and it's drama and it's commotion. Like
Yes.
they say at the end of the episode, like, you've made an impact on this game. You were invited onto this era show for a reason. And Amanda's impact on the game is not being a standout, amazing competitor who makes it to the finals. So when Amanda always has a critique of Tori or some shit to say to Tori, I'm always just like, Amanda, she's been in multiple finals. She's won a final. She plays the game. She kicks your ass. You have no leg to stand on right now. And it annoys me so much. And also, she puffs her chest like she's always the brain. She's a smart player. She wants a puzzle. Tori kicked your ass on a puzzle on the challenge that got you into this elimination anyway. You weren't last. Nia was last. But you also didn't win. And you lost to Tori, who you think is stupid, who you think you're so much smarter than, who you think you're such a puzzle mastermind compared to her. She beat you on a puzzle. So she was annoying me left and right this whole episode.
And she was trying to get Avery thrown in her place instead because well, you guys have no affiliation with Avery. I'm like, well, who cares? Avery's a better competitor than you, and if they're trying to keep the stronger people around, like Amanda, what are you talking about there?
I feel like we've seen Tori be the bigger person and bite her tongue for a long time because Amanda's obviously like an amusing gnat in the gate. You know what I mean? She's not going to beat Tori. It's like, but you're not going to beat Tori. I was happy for Tori to finally be like, I'm so scared. Because it's like Amanda is so all bark and no bite. Like, when I come back, you're going to regret it, you flip flop. hours. It's like, what? Are you delusional, or do you believe your own delusions to make your case stronger? And Dan, what I understood her to be saying to Corey was that they were both like, let's do it for Nelly. That doesn't mean you're my number
Right.
one. I'll try you handshake, I'll vote, and everybody else but you. It's like, that
Yeah.
means like, let's win this for Nelly. Like, yay,
Yeah.
cheers. Like, it doesn't
Here's the
mean
thing.
anything like
Here's the thing. I find the show really interesting when I don't like, as long as there's drama around. And that was a really nice drama piece for era 4 that's no longer going to be there. I'm not saying I want Amanda to win. I'm not saying I think Amanda's a good competitor for 3. Sorry. I think Amanda's an awful competitor. I think she's there for the drama, and I would have liked to see it just go out a couple more episodes just to see what would happen. Devin, I wanted to see Devin be the mediator there, all that good stuff. I didn't want her to see her. I don't want to see her in a final, just like I don't want to see Anissa in a final. But I want them there for a little while, just so I can maybe rag on them a little bit and just
Yeah.
enjoy what they bring
I
to
hear
the
your
challenge.
point. I understand. I understand the entertainment, but for me personally, it was way too satisfying for her ass to leave episode 1. Like, yes, you're not as good as Tori. You're not as good as half the competitors in this game. Get out of here. And Tina,
Agreed.
I'm surprised we talked about Tina calling
that.
Amanda
Shit's getting old.
Say it
Getting
again.
old. Amanda's shit a little bit is getting old with nothing to back it up with. That's what it's like. It'd be one thing if you did well ever, but sitting there going, Tori sucks, she's dumb, is like, show me something else, Amanda. Show me
Yeah.
something
You
else.
have to start to have the walk to back up the talk, and you've always just been talk. And Tina saying she's a truth teller, I'm like, she's saying her truth. It's not the objective truth. It's Amanda's very subjective truth. So she thinks that, then sure, it's a truth in a way, but it's not like the almighty bird eye view truth.
And I like to call that opinion. She's saying her opinion. It's not
Okay.
the truth. It's not her truth, because truth is truth. It's Amanda's opinion that these
Yeah.
people suck and she kicks ass.
Yeah.
Amanda rules, you guys drool. Not truth. Amanda's feelings at the moment. Sure, she's amused. I get it. I get what Tina's saying. She's amusing. She speaks her mind. Wouldn't call it the truth. She speaks whatever's on her mind without thought.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, enough though of it. It's amusing to a point, but it's the same song and dance at this point. And now the fact that she loves Cara is even weirder to me. It's like, what was all that? You don't even have any real feelings behind this, because you hated Cara when you were wishing death upon her horse. And now
Well, then
dislike
look,
Tori, you
you got
love
at least give
Cara.
Amanda credit for bringing drama. If she made up all that with Cara,
Yes,
then
of
at least she brought
course.
some drama, whatever. But let me say this too, real quick. When she's going up against Naya in the balls in or whatever the hell they had to play, and she had no chance, she did score the first point. I know it was kind of bogus. I think Naya thought she was like out of bounds, because then Naya kind of she gave up, and then she snuck around the back door and scored the first point. But are you telling me, Liz, you're probably going to disagree. You're telling me you weren't rooting for Amanda, who's like 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing. Hold on. 5 foot nothing, 100 nothing.
Can't say anything. Whatever you're leading up to is never going to make me root for her, but okay.
Someone in the comments is going to agree with me on this. Amanda's 5 foot nothing, 100 nothing. Naya is 6 feet tall. There's something called rooting for the underdog. You're telling me if Amanda beats Naya in that elimination, you're not impressed by that? And guess what? She was 1 win away from doing that, because apparently all you needed was 2 wins. I'm telling you right now, they did like multiple rounds of this stuff that's probably not being shown. It sounds like we saw competitors this season have already come out on Instagram saying that like people were winning when they shouldn't have won things. Apparently last week, Devin was not allowed to, they were told ahead of time, they were not allowed to get out of that boat and swim, or else you would be disqualified. Well, what Devin did should have caused him disqualification, and he should actually be in the elimination tonight, but they didn't disqualify him from that. I heard that from, it was either Ryan or Jordan were saying that on the thing. So Devin should technically be down there and not Leroy or whoever was in his group.
Yeah, I think that there's going to be a lot of holes in a competition show like this, and now they're just being revealed. Whereas like in the past, let's say even 15 years ago, maybe even 6 years ago, we wouldn't be keen to it. Maybe because of the lack of social media, because of NDAs, whatever it is. I wonder if what happened with Devin is there was something wrong with his boat, and production just had to be like, shit, yeah, like we screwed up your boat.
That's what Pamela said.
I guess
Pamela said
Yeah.
Pam thought there was a leak in it to start, and he had no choice but to swim. Something like that, right, Pam? You said that?
I did. to be sinking very fast. And we thought maybe because of the stitching of it and the basket weave of it, if he stepped wrong or something, but there was clearly a hole in it. There was no way he could have just paddled the boat to it. He brought it with him, right? I mean, I feel like the rules
I
are
don't
like
know if
you
he
have to
brought it
travel
with
with
him,
your
but
Yeah,
boat.
because the thing is, Leroy was struggling so hard. There was other players struggling with steering the boat. Why wouldn't they have just jumped out and swam? Now we know that that was illegal, so that makes me think that production had to acknowledge that they had a fault in Devin's boat. They had to be like, shit, sorry, like we don't want to screw up your stake in this. I guess you could just swim because that's our bad. I don't know. Obviously, I wasn't there.
There's no way to
That's just
sail it.
my theory.
I think that theory makes sense. I think that because these things move so fast, and it's funny because with social
Yeah,
media
it's
and
so quick. They're
AI,
just like, keep going. Yeah.
well, now I'm like, now anything you want, you can Google, like, you know, was the hole in Devin's boat? Like, you can Google anything, but is there a thing that will just, we need to invent this, by the way, if it doesn't exist? I don't want it to give me a whole episode where they mention a very specific thing that I'm talking about. Can't AI and technology now like hone in on exactly what you're saying and give you the answer? Like, can't we Google, what did production say to Devin about the hole in his boat in
I mean, that'd
season
be
4?
crazy.
I think somebody would have, AI needs to get that information from somewhere. So somebody had to have needed to say that in the world in order for them to grab that information. But
If they did, would it grab it? Like, would it get
it
that
would, I'm
specific, or
sure
would
it
you just
would.
say
Yeah.
in like, give me a podcast called where it's the challenge is mentioned
Yeah,
100
probably.
times,
Yeah.
or the word production? I want it to get, if AI is going to take our jobs,
It
come on
is.
with something good. Don't be an
Yeah.
Amanda AI. Be
Yes.
a Dylan.
Feed our reality TV addictions with the drama.
Exactly. And if you're going to be an
Fact check
underdog that
drama.
we root for, be good at it.
so
Yeah, but I don't want us to get too sidetracked. I want to keep
Okay.
going on all
we're
these
already
other.
so we're already talking about balls in. Let's keep going with balls in. Leroy and Tony.
Well,
I'm
wait,
telling you.
sorry. On the Naya Amanda.
Oh,
No,
she's not. Oh no, she's not done.
no, not done with the Naya Amanda. Yes, I know that Amanda was the underdog. I know that she's shorter. Also, wow, Naya's really tall. I really didn't realize.
Yeah.
Next to Amanda, same thing with Theo and Polly, which we'll get into. Theo was a half a person
Yes.
taller than him, and it felt the same way with Nia and Amanda. So I understand she's smaller. I understand there's something called an underdog, but there's also something called being humbled when you need to be humbled. And I felt like Amanda needed that. So I was so disappointed when Nia seemed not totally locked in. I was watching your episode last week, guys, and you said stuff about the killer instinct, and I feel like Nia she was always like a fighter, right, when she was on the Real World. And now I feel like she's zenned out. She relaxed and she really knows how to like take a chill pill now. You can't do that in elimination. Like, give me Killer Dog Naya. I couldn't believe she was so checked out. So that was disappointing. And then when you see before commercial when she threw the ball in and it bounced out of the basket,
Yeah.
I
So
was like,
good.
you gotta be kidding me.
But
Like,
that's
you gotta be
great. That
kidding
is
me.
finally some great editing by the producers because you know whose face they went to show that after the ball didn't go in.
Tori.
Tori,
Yeah.
mouth agape, like
Uh-huh.
holy crap, Amanda might win this thing because I thought once she threw it in that the ball would just be a dead ball, but no,
Same.
they let her keep playing. Then she just freaking tractor trailered over. That should have been a dead ball. I don't, whatever, but that's
I thought
again.
maybe it was gonna be Amanda's point or something. I was just like, what's happening here?
But here's the thing is when Amanda's talking before she goes into elimination, she's like, I'm gonna come back up there, you'll see, and you guys are screwed. Do you think she's really buying her own shit? Because I
No,
do
no,
not.
I don't.
Right. Okay.
I
So we're
don't
all on the
think she
same
is.
page there. We know that she doesn't think she has even a freaking punter's chance. But the fact that when she scored that first point, I mean, it was and it's entertaining. Like it got me.
Agreed.
I'm in.
Sure. She thought in her head, like, oh, I don't know what's happening. Do I have a dog in this fight? Okay,
So
I'm
when
in
you
there.
girls, yeah. So when she scored that first point, you girls are saying, you girls still are like, no, we don't want. Like that to me was like, oh my god, I really hope Amanda
I'm like,
pulls it off now.
Naya?
Like that's awesome.
Fun, but I was like, no, shut up. Yes, that's
Yes.
exactly. I felt like Tori's face. Like, don't let this little bitch win. Naya, come on, this
Man,
is yours to lose.
I guess Danny Drama really just wanted a couple more weeks of drama. All
Yeah.
right, whatever.
I
All right.
love that. You have your own opinion. You should.
Way
Clearly,
more drama.
Amanda rubs Pam and I the wrong way.
Oh, she rubs me the wrong way too. I could barely see her eyes, by the way, when she was doing that elimination. She had the longest, furriest eyelash extension things I've ever seen in my life. Those things were
Oh,
caterpillars on there. Just
well,
throwing it out there.
somebody said this, I can't remember in the confessional, and this is, yes, I will agree with this in respect for Amanda, is she really is fearless. Like she does kind of, even though I'm sure she knows she's not the best competitor. You know, I agree with you, Dan, when she's barking like, you guys, just hope I don't come back. I don't even think she said it with enough. Yeah. I don't even think she said it with enough authority that you know what I mean? She said it. I was like, I don't think she even meant that.
It's that
But she
what
does.
if for me, like
You
what
know,
if she comes back? What could happen if she comes back? And she never ends up coming back. But like, what if she came back?
Appreciate Amanda for what she brings for 5 minutes and then I'm done with it. Like, I like when she comes in like a steamroller. I'm not even saying that I hate her so much. I'm saying, okay, just like you're not going to win. You're going to come in and tell Tori she sucks and she's stupid and whatever, and then go away. Like I was ready. I would have been not happy if she lasted longer. Whereas I think she brought something to these past 2 episodes. I'm not saying that I hated seeing her. I'm saying I like seeing her get like, okay, Tori's also going to smash you like a bug and you're going to be gone after the first episode. Bye-bye. I like the whole thing about it with Amanda. But if she stayed longer, I would have been like, no.
All
yeah.
right.
But Dan, you were getting into the men's
Just
balls in.
super Leroy versus Tony. Super disappointed with Leroy. I do not know how. Look, Tony's a stronger guy than maybe people give him credit for, but he destroyed Leroy. He destroyed Leroy in that elimination. Leroy didn't even stand a chance. Is Leroy's head not in the game? Is his head back home with his kids? Which, if it is, no problem with that at all. Go home then, man. But like, he literally was not there to win that thing. And it's funny too, because they try to pull a confessional. Every time I see a confessional where it's like Leroy's like, yo, Tony's unathletic, I should dominate this guy. I'm like, this is all filmed after the fact. So Leroy, I bet you get your ass kicked now because you're acting so confident in this confessional. The producers are telling you to say this stuff. Like, I knew Tony was going to destroy him after that.
So Leroy literally said, everyone thinks of Tony as this unathletic, big goofy dog or something. And I was like, do we? I mean, not that I feel like Tony's always been considered a good competitor. I don't think we've ever thought of him.
He's always been that. We talked tiers, Pamela, last week. We talked like the A, the B, and the C. He's always like a B- for me. Like, he's not
Josh.
even.
Again, Josh is
Yeah,
the
I
example.
think-
Like, give me that unathletic, goofy guy. Tony's like, like that. So I was surprised he said that, and then I'm sure production feeding, but it was when John A. I was like, somebody had to say it. Finger bite, like John A. said, Leroy's getting destroyed. I'm sorry, and he was. It was like the past couple of seasons that Leroy's been on. Dare I say, he should have just retired when he retired. Like not again, no shade if his head and heart aren't in it, but like he's not been doing well at all.
Yeah, I mean, it was a complete ass whooping that I did not see coming. Like, I could not believe it was. I'm not comparing it to this, but it just popped in my head. Like how CT put bananas on his back as a backpack. Tony legit picked up Leroy and just shoved him out of the circle. Like, there was really kind of no pushback. Like, Leroy couldn't do anything. It was shocking.
Yeah.
They are size matched. It wasn't like watching the other people that got demolished or like big dog, little dog. So
that almost felt like unfair games, but we'll get into it because you don't ever want any, it's like all's fair in love more than challenge, but like some of these, I was like, this does not feel right to watch. Like, this feels unfair. But Dan, you brought up the confessionals because you could tell that obviously Leroy was talking about before the competition. Clearly it was after he'd already lost. They totally botched these confessionals. You could tell every single time everybody was in the same exact spot. Like, why did they film the interviews that way? When they show Polly's frame, they show Neresa's frame, they're in the same exact setting. Like, they haven't even moved like a centimeter left or literally background. Everything is exactly the same frame. I was like,
they asked them because all the majority of the people that they're showing there are the ones that lost. They just did one interview with them they did an entire interview for their entire time on the show. And they
turn them the other way.
Well, whatever.
Just
they didn't,
flip the angle. Have her put her ponytail on the right side. Like, do anything.
No, yeah. I mean, they weren't there. The people that lost tonight were there for maybe the week. I would think 1 week of filming. That's it. That's it. So, we can move on here. I'll say one more thing. I'm excited to see Tony back. I didn't want to see Tony go home. He went home early on All Stars. We hadn't seen him in a long time. He went home early on All Stars because of his family. I'm echoing somehow. And then now he went now he's actually going to stay in the game a little longer. His whole team's against him, though. He doesn't really have any friends on that team, really, so that's going to be rough for him. But I love an underdog. He's the underdog now, so I'm going to be rooting for him. I just am.
Yeah, I think he showed his stripes, though. I think people might be a little bit more intimidated and cautious to go into an elimination with him because we talked about like, oh, what is Leroy's talking about him being this big doofy goofy guy. He does have the size and the build and the strength and all the makings to make him an athlete, but I guess nobody really saw him that way. But I think now they absolutely will.
And here's the thing, if they do it every week where it's like you go against your own team, if you lose, you have to go against your own teammate. There's only 4 guys and girls on each team. So there's not a lot of people, there's not a lot of rosters to choose from. You're choosing against if one guy wins, then you only have 2 other, but one guy loses, there's only another 2 guys in there. I mean, Tony's gonna have a hard time convincing Tori not to put Jordan in or not put Devin in. Like he's gonna have to go against Corey next, maybe. Like, I don't know. It's gonna be hard for Tony to stick around.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Pam, you got something to say?
Oh, well, we'll save this till the end, though, when we talk about the twist or sort of twist or slight arm pull that was revealed at the end. But I'm going to be really pissed if with the losers getting to vote karma points.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's certain things where I think it makes so much sense that like treat people how you want to be treated or don't be an asshole. Like for Cara, who is the victim of bully Banana and bully Laurel. But for Amanda, if she fucks up Tori's game at the end because she doesn't like her, and it's like, oh, all the points are in and you're negative, Tori, I would be really pissed.
So what I think's going to happen is like there's going to be a winning team, and maybe there's like 5 members left of that team. Like who knows, right? Because I think it's going to run the whole thing in teams all the way to the end. Maybe only the person that gets the best karma votes will get the money, and everyone else on the team gets nothing. Like that would be, I don't think it'll go that far, but I think maybe the person that won the best gets like more money than the other 4 or the other 5, whoever else is left on their team. Maybe that's how they do it. I don't know, but
we'll see it play out. But I know what you're saying, Pam. I agree, because they're also personal. Like their relationships with people are personal. That I do agree that like you shouldn't just be a piece of shit and lie and betray everybody and always win. Although it is like, the challenge, you're playing the game, whatever. But yeah, if you're kind of like just a bully to people, then obviously, you shouldn't make it.
I was really
at a good point, but people's personal relationship with everybody is just it's not gonna be like unanimous. There might be a lot of sways, but
yeah.
There's being a jerk and screwing someone over. And then there's logical reasoning, like what Rachel did, and I have my fingers in quotes for those of you listening, quote unquote to Anissa. Yeah. No, that's not someone treating someone nasty. That's someone putting in the shittiest player.
Well, look,
also not even, she didn't do it. She sort of took it out of her hands. So
did it kind of feel Big Brother style to you, ladies? Like, at the end, don't they vote for the winner at the end of Big Brother? Like they all get a vote on. Oh no, or no. What's that? Is it Big Brother?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the show well enough, so I'm gonna probably fudge it here. But yeah, I think that there's like a jury.
Well,
right?
Pamela knows, and we only watched one season. Pamela knows. Yeah. Well, you know what I wanted them to do with those 8 players? They should have been like, you know what? Guess what? Y'all lost. You're gonna be the 4th team now. We're putting you all together. Now there's 4 teams. That's what they should have done. It'd have been so cool. That's a twist. It's season 40. You got to do big twists. A karma vote. That's your twist so far. It seems lame so far. Well, maybe it's cool in the end. Right now, I'm like a karma vote when you could have put these 8 people together as like a hodgepodge of just random people, but now you're all one team. We're going to give you all one more chance. And then every week now someone gets eliminated off each team or something like that. So much more entertaining for me. You keep them.
Chaos. Yeah. Or like everyone has to compete against a team chaos for, I don't know.
It's like the Frankenstein team. You just put them all the pieces together. That would have been so cool. So anyways, whatever.
Overall, just because there's so many eliminations to get through, and I don't even know, we got too invested and jumped in. Overall, I'm really, 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 really bummed about
Holly,
Nerys, and there's one more person that I was like, oh, I don't want to see them go.
Well, there can only
it must be Katie. You must be so sad Katie's gone.
I mean, I don't. That was fine. I
forgot about that era.
Yeah, because Katie sucks. Anyways,
no, that was a big one with Mark and Derek. Wait, Katie did not suck in that elimination.
Oh, almost won.
Here's okay. Let's talk about Katie and Anissa. Let's go, Katie and Anissa. Go ahead. I can't wait.
beat Anissa, who is literally double her size.
Okay,
If
this
you
is my
gave her
point though. Anissa sucks that Katie's not good. Anissa just sucks that bad at everything
Right,
that
but
she can barely beat Katie. She should have dominated Katie in 2 seconds, but that's how bad Anissa
it
is
was
that Katie
still,
looked good. That's my
it
point.
was still fun to see Katie have a fighting chance because you would have thought she would just be done in 3 seconds.
But
And
that's
it's like,
why, because
Yes, I
Anissa's
don't think
not that good.
Anissa, just because Anissa was the for sure winner and Katie fought back, I don't think that that should be a discredit to Katie because that is really hard to compete in that situation. Like Anissa is so much bigger than her. It's harder for Katie to even just hold on to the pole in the same way with
I
the
get
same
it, but do
strength.
you understand my point of it all though? That Anissa, like, if Anissa went up against anybody that's even close to her size, she's losing that.
yeah, but I'm rubber, you're glue.
Yeah.
It's like Amanda, like she got a weird lucky. It doesn't mean she's great or anything. It's like Katie, like, but I don't think Katie was weird lucky. Katie held her own for a little while. I almost felt like if she could have tuckered out Anissa, she could have won. And
She should
you
have
also have
just
to,
held on for dear life, but
yeah,
It really is kind of a testament to like Anissa, come on, girl. Like you really gotta
thank
but the
you.
next
Okay,
step
Jenna's
for those
coming around
twins.
now. I get it. Here we go.
No. Oh, I
Yeah.
understand. No, I'm talking very specifically about Katie being impressive by having a fight in this elimination. That is not at all to say that Anissa did well. She did not. And she is kind of
No.
always that person that comes in where it's like, I love you. You're such an icon in the game. However, it's been a few seasons now at this point where it doesn't look like you're coming in like fully prepared to play.
And
And
here's the thing
I
too.
don't like Leroy throwing in his lot with like me and Anissa are the best players never to win. It's like, well, you're acting that way now, Leroy, like the person that says like, I'm so good and doesn't ever show up. I don't, when did Leroy turn into like an Anissa supporter and that the two of them were,
I don't know, but I'll bring this about Anissa because I brought it up last week too. We did it. Well, let's ask Jenna this question, Pam. This is fun. Anissa has been in 26 eliminations. Now
Oh,
it's
I watched. I heard you guys.
okay.
It's
She's
13-13. Now 14-13.
and I want that's why I'm bringing it up now. She's 14 and 13, but she beat Katie in a pole wrestle. I mean, how is she? She better be 14 and 13. Like, my God. Like, and I think a lot of her wins are like that, where it's like a guaranteed easy victory. Like, what do we? So anyway, I won't bring it up anymore. But that's my point. So yeah, she's 14 and 13 now in eliminations.
Yeah, I mean, she found her strategy in the second round, and Katie had 3 seconds of a dog in the fight. Anissa just flat out, like, literally just reclined on her, like she just
Reclined on her.
because did she go to just like fall back on her?
I mean, I
Okay,
should
so
hope so, Anissa. Again, as Dan is saying, I should hope so, Anissa, if she couldn't pull it off. It's like if Naya couldn't pull it off, then yes, I would say Amanda, congratulations. If
brava.
Amanda can't win,
so-
but these people had clear advantages.
Just to keep this moving, let's move on to Mark and Derek because that one was at least more entertaining. At the same time, though, Mark got his butt kicked by Derek. Like, I mean, I know Mark is twice. I thought Derek was going to win it just because he's never going to give up on that pole. Him and Wes, I'll never forget it. They were, I mean, I think Wes ended up winning it, but those two were going like in circles over each other. Mark didn't stand a chance. But I'm surprised that Mark didn't win one. Like,
Yeah, no, I
he's so
completely agree with
big,
you where,
you know?
Mark is bigger, but Derek is Derek. He's
Yeah.
made for pole wrestling. He's such a fighter. But there still was part of me that was like, I still think maybe Mark's size, and even though he's older, you still probably think that he might come out with the win. So there was still a little bit of a fear there. But Derek, like, he's just such a great example of what a fighter is and fighting spirit. Like, he will just never give up. And yeah, he's always
He
so
went
great.
against, do you remember when he went against, was it Joss? The
Yeah.
furniture
Yeah.
salesman, Joss.
Gloves. Yeah.
No one's gonna get that reference unless they listen to us for a long time. But yes,
Well,
Joss is furniture, and he cleans a lot, doesn't he?
The
Clean?
reference.
Yeah, he cleans a lot. Joss likes to clean the house up.
Rubber gloves.
Yeah,
But he's not a furniture salesman, Dan. He was furniture.
he was
Like,
furniture, is what I
nice
meant to
look
say.
at.
Yes, he sits around and he looks like furniture.
Dan just has sales on the mind.
Yeah. Well, Derek came in though. I mean, Mark came in. I was like, whoa, look out. Because Dan mentioned last week that Mark is now like dipping his toe into the wrestling world. And he came in, he like flipped Derek's
Yeah, he
body
did.
over.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, he's gonna
And you know what we're talking about? I said Derek's a great example of a fighter, and Mark is a great example of you can still do everything at your age. You know, he still has so much fight in him too.
Yep.
He's
That was a
Jayla's age.
good fight. But yeah, Derek, it was so rewarding to see him back in the
Yeah.
pole wrestle
Yeah,
world.
good job, Derek. And he is. He's like,
That's like
this
his
is
domain. That's where he belongs. That's where we want to see Derek. I also wonder about obviously you see them pick the squares from the wall. They're picking the games. So it doesn't look like, oh, we're just randomly selecting a ball out of a bucket. So it feels authentic that they are randomly
there's the
picking.
X, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
But here's the thing though. I don't understand
He's
that
like,
though.
no, not that one, not that one. But this is the perfect one for era one because that really is like their bread and butter. Pole wrestle is so like the duel, you know, and those are the people.
X.
Oh,
That was my, like, is it going to be an X? Oh, it's an X. Like someone taps
Yeah,
twice
but
on
I
my
don't
thing.
understand though. If they all had to play a different game, are you telling me like they kept putting the four things up, they all picked a different game? Like I don't understand
I
that
know.
concept.
There
That seemed a
was
little
only four
sketch.
of each. I think there were only combinations.
But there's no way in hell someone didn't. If they pull down pole wrestle, they weren't going to have four people do pole wrestle. They want
No,
each era to have a different elimination. So I was confused on how they got selected, but they all did something different. So who cares? But it didn't make any sense because they showed Paulie and Theo go up there and they had four choices and they randomly pulled Hall Brawl. What if they pulled pole wrestle? Were they going to still do Hall Brawl? Again, it's confusing. I don't get how that worked, but
Yeah, that was
I
very
think
just. Go ahead, Pam. Sorry.
no, it doesn't matter. I have a theory on how it worked. Like if there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and everyone goes up, when one's gone, it's gone. When two,
they
it's
kept
gone.
showing
Process of
four
elimination.
choices.
Yes. You have little plates for the other one, so it looks like you're picking something, but really there's only one left.
So they kept picking blanks until they got to it. Just like make them. They just if they're stuck with the last one, they
Well,
just take the last
they did
one.
in order and showed us in production with Polly and them picking out a 4,
It doesn't
but
make sense. Like
they
why
were.
do that? Why do that though? Just give them all the thing. Man, it doesn't matter. We're
I
harping on silly
agree.
stuff. So we're halfway through these eliminations. We can move on to the next ones. What
Can
do you
we
want to
do
do?
Ball Brawl?
Want to talk about Hall Brawl? Okay.
Let's talk about Hall
You're telling me
Brawl.
we're saving Take Shelter for last, or do we want to just do Take Shelter and get it out of the way
Do
here?
it in the order they did it. Let's just
Fine.
do
Keep
Hopper
it rolling.
next.
Hall Brawl's
Ball
next.
Brawl. I think we're all in agreement about this.
We knew who was going to win both matches
Oh,
before it started. You mean?
no, I thought Polly had a chance in this.
Really?
I did. He's strong. He's again one of those like really like competitively spirited person. I thought he was going to work out a strategy. I thought he was Dan.
I didn't give him a
Theo
chance. Sorry.
picked him up like a baby infant and threw him to the next dimension. Like I did not think it was going to be that bad.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't think Polly had a shot in hell was because we know Theo and Olivia like develop a relationship. So therefore, I was
I
like,
told Pamela that
yes,
last week, and she got real upset.
Yeah.
She's like, "Wait, no, that must mean Polly might go home."
No, but guys, to be bulldozed, did you foresee that?
He said he
I
got hit
was,
by a Mack truck.
Jenna, I thought Polly had more of a shot than he.
yes.
Polly is also falling into my Leroy category now, where it's like the past couple of times you have not shown up, and Polly was so good. I want to believe that he still is. And I want to see him do well, but he's just not doing it. Every time he's been given a shot, he's been like first to go home all the time.
Yeah. I mean, this, I audibly went, oh,
Me too.
oh. Like I immediately went from like, oh, because first off, Polly's game face is hysterical. He is like an angry blue steel. Like he like puckers, but you know, yes, exactly, Pam. So his game face, I'm like, wow, he literally wears it on his face, heart, and sleeve. Like his poker face is not a poker face. It's very much so like I'm gotta get myself jacked up. Like I'm pissed off. So first off, his game face is so hysterical. He's standing there with his game face. Um, now I'm losing track of where I'm going with this. Oh, yes. So because of his game face, I'm thinking like, oh, like he's in this, you know, they show his quads. We know he's like a bodybuilder, right? He plays all these sports. He's so strong. And then my audible completely changes to like, oh, like me just feeling so bad, feeling like a kid just fell off his bike or something. I'm like, oh no, poor baby. Like I actually felt really bad for him, like sadness and
Ew.
embarrassment for him on his behalf. And it was really sad, the interview after, because he's been getting more and more humble with each of these seasons that pass. He's like, man, this is a nightmare and I didn't even watch it back yet. I'm like, I can empathize with that, because haven't we ever just walked away from a situation where you have felt so embarrassed and you're like, this is
Yep.
gonna haunt me?
Yes.
I felt the same way. I'm like, God, I've had those times that he's talking about right now, where he's like, he's gonna not be able to sleep for weeks at a time, just thinking
Oh,
about just getting destroyed, not even putting up a fight, and it's gonna be on national TV or cable TV at least. And yeah,
streaming platforms.
streaming platforms
TikTok,
everywhere.
Instagram. I mean, everything can be clipped now. This can be well put out there if somebody wants it to
He
be.
tried to go low thinking he could do it, and he just, dude, you're not going low on. I know Theo's got long legs and he's like 6'6" or whatever the hell he is. He's super tall. You're not. He destroyed him, and there's nothing more to say about it, really.
What
Yeah, this was
could
one.
Polly have
Oh,
done?
sorry.
No,
Sorry,
I'm
say
just,
it again.
what do you think Polly could have done? Anything?
No.
Like laid on his stomach and tried to beat him in a foot race. Like, no, literally, like,
He could have got real ballsy. No, he could have
yeah.
done one thing. Get real ballsy and try to jump over him if he thinks, but if he doesn't, he's gonna no, but hear me out, Jenna. If he doesn't, if Theo sees that coming at all, he catches him and walks him to the other side. Just walk
Isn't
like a
someone
baby, holds him like a
Like
baby and walk.
straddled,
So
like his arms
yeah, just
are,
straddles him, right?
his legs are straddled around him.
Yep.
I mean, Dan, it essentially was that. Like, it really was. He did pick him up like an infant.
Yep. So, in all honesty, the Olivia
Polly?
and Nerys one was actually a lot more entertaining. And on that second one,
Okay.
well, hear me out. On that second one, Nerys should have had that win. I don't know what happened to her. She had a clear sight. She couldn't
What
get
happened is,
her ankle free. She couldn't get her damn ankle free from Olivia's grasp, but she should have dominated her on that second round. It was really
okay,
disappointing.
no, this second one, Olivia laid such an egg, and this is where Olivia's
Yeah.
brain did not click. Girl, you are 3 steps away from the button. Why are you simply not just standing up and touching the button? She's letting Nerys, she's trying to follow Nerys back into the tunnel and drag Nerys back to her. It's like,
No,
you
what was
got her,
funny
you're
was
3 strides away from the button.
Olivia tried to wrap the inside of her foot around the plexiglass there to stop Nerys from dragging her, but her foot came undone, and then Nerys is halfway the other way, just dragging Olivia. I'm sorry, Nerys, stomp on her hand and get free. You just let her take you back. So come on, Nerys, she had it.
They
Or at
were
least
very
one. She wouldn't have won. She still would have lost,
So
but she would have made it
Olivia, I don't
interesting.
know if you guys noticed, but in all, every time she was on camera, before the event and after and everything, she had these gigantic earrings on. And I was like, no, don't production, make her take them off. All I imagined was like, she lost a nose and now she's losing an ear. That's all I could imagine was these huge earrings getting
After
like
getting her
caught
Oh,
on
nose
something and
broken.
ripping her face off. And I was
Was
like,
it out by the time the hall brawl
I
happened?
don't think so. I think probably the helmet, either they were off or the helmet covered so much of your head that they weren't like in the way, but they
Yeah.
were like enormous earrings. And all I could think was like,
Yeah.
I don't need to see more of
Two,
her blood.
yeah. A thought on that hall brawl was I expected more from Nerys, and it's not that I don't think she has it in her. I think she really suffered from a mental block. You could tell she was nervous. She did not get a good takeoff. Like, she did not have a good acceleration. She had no momentum running into that tunnel. She was like straight up. Like, she just did not have like an athletic takeoff. And I think it's because she was just nervous. Like, I honestly think in her mind she lost before she even could play the game. Like, she counted herself out. She was embarrassed she lost the first challenge. She was like looming over it all week. You know, she really didn't want to go into this elimination, and it was very non-physical. Like, I don't think either of these girls like wanted to touch
right.
each other and get like hands on.
Here's the thing, the pressure was on Nerys because guess what she did last season? She like beat 2 guys at an elimination. She kept coming back. She kept winning. She kept winning. Now she feels coming into this season, I have to live up to that hype. And
Yeah.
not gonna happen. It just wasn't gonna happen, that hype.
Yeah, I think she could have done well if she counted herself out, I think.
Well, she was crying before it even started. She was like,
No,
this
I
is the
think that
last.
was after. Remember? They were in the same
Oh,
exact frame. I swear that had to have been after. Same tears before and after.
they showed it before. She was
Yeah,
like
that's called
literally
editing.
and saying, this is the last thing I wanted. So like, I'm not looking forward to it. Um, Nerys came off so sweet and wonderful, and I feel like she didn't compete up to her abilities, and it's a bummer. And she had the disadvantage. It just that sucked. I didn't want to see her go.
Well, and let's be honest, like on your solo teams, you're competing against 4 other people. If you have one bad night, I mean, this is for episode 1, part 1 of whatever,
Yeah.
when they had to do the boat thing. If you just have one bad night, at least you have one more opportunity in the elimination to redeem yourself, but that's it. You're done. So you're not competing against, like, when you have 20, like 32 people and it's like the last place person goes into elimination, all you have to beat out is the other 15 men or women, depending on your gender, right? So now you're having to beat out a much smaller cast. It's you can't have a bad night, is my point. And even if you have a bad night with 15 other people, as long as you don't have the worst, it's like when you say you just don't want to be the last person, the slowest person running away from the bear. You can be the second, the third, or fourth last. You just can't be the slowest to survive. I mean, it's tougher this season for sure.
You have to be able to bounce back and live to see like the next play, the next game, and I get it. It's hard. I think she's super self-critical. I think that she's her own toughest critic. And I think that she couldn't shake off that original challenge and the fact that she's going to elimination. And she was scared pretty much scared or hesitant across the board, no matter who was going to be up in front of her, right? Like you have Muscles Jenny, you have Casey plays football, so this probably would have been hers to win anyway. Like she knows the strategy. And then Olivia, who she has that awkward, we once were best friends, I still like you, but now we can't be friends going forward. So that's kind of just like an awkward situation.
Yeah, and do you think she would have had a better chance against Jenny? There's your joke, because Jenny lost to Tori in a hall brawl back in the day. So.
But on that, Jenny was driving me nuts because she was like, "Oh, I can feel the blood and pumping in my muscles, and I want to get in there." And it's like, "No, Jenny, you're not even that good. Shut up." But her body, there was some long shot, and she literally looked like muscle. Like I feel like she's more muscular.
Yeah, no, and it's hard to do. I listened to your episode last week, and you were like, "Good job, Jenny. You could work out. Good job." I mean, maybe that's not. Yeah, it's not related to the challenge, but that is like, this is sidebar, but like crazy discipline. Like to be able to look like her is like how. I think she only eats raw chicken and protein powder. Like
that's how they were when I was watching the Olympics. I saw the Olympics, and those volleyball players, I was like, their bodies are so efficient. Like everything on them, like they don't have anything on them that's not like functioning as part of the machinery. That's how Jenny looks, except her lips. Burn, just kidding. But it is silly. I feel like it doesn't match. Like, I don't know. I know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
But Nerys wins Miss Congeniality.
Speaking of lips, Olivia beats Nerys.
No, Nerys wins Miss Congeniality. She was like, "Well, I beat her, she beat me. He were friends again." She was so gracious and sweet. And the other person I like the most, but didn't care that she left because obviously it was we're transitioning to this, versus Cara Maria. Obviously, I'm glad Cara Maria won. But Kellyanne is also amazing and gets the Miss Congeniality award too. When she's like, "Laurel, it's okay to be sorry that you're a jerk and still have done it. Like you're not a robot. Like you can feel bad about the decision you make and still have made it. Like it's not
basically saying, yeah, you should be sorry.
Right. It's human to feel bad. You kind of did her dirty and you should feel bad, but it's the game. But it is normal and okay to feel bad about it and to acknowledge
and thank goodness,
have done something not nice.
But thank goodness Cara won that, because we need that drama. We're losing too many people that were gonna bring some drama to this, depending on whoever they're against. So because we lost Polly. Polly could have brought some great drama to that team.
Yeah. Can I tell you my in real life reaction to seeing what Era 2 had to play, which is the whatever the knot thing that we talked about? What is it called, Dan?
The take shelter thing?
Take shelter. Yes. About this game, my in real life note is Era 2 had to do this stupid ass equalizer, not tie. Yep. I want to see Cara smash someone's head in, not tie a knot.
Yep. 100%.
Let Olivia and Nerys tie knots. That's what that would be much better. Let them do that. Let them do that, and let Cara and Kellyanne are both strong competitors. It would have been fun to watch.
This elimination is a crapshoot. It's the one they should not have had this one in there. They should have made it another. Every single thing here was kind of a more strength headbanger type situation. Come up with one more time, either headbanger or at least something more athletic. I don't want to watch people tie freaking knots.
Yeah,
Crap.
it's just an equalizer of an elimination. So
Right.
I think it can be good in an elimination. It's just that it's too scary to see Cara go into something that can be so hit or miss. Like,
Yeah, and then
I love Kellyanne. I feel bad that it had to be at her expense because I like her, but Cara has too many haters, and I'm rooting against the haters in the house, and I want her to come back every time. Also, I want Laurel to eat her words too, because Laurel was pissing me off so much, second to Amanda this episode, because she said something where she's so sick of having to coach Cara.
Yeah.
It's like, you haven't coached her in like 10 to 15 years since you were partners on whatever show you were partners on, which no one can even remember because it's been so long, Laurel. So cut me a break on you have to coach her.
Yep.
And she's talking about like no one likes her because she isolates herself. And shit, that might be true. We talked about how a lot of people don't get along with Cara, but also, Laurel, you're not Mrs. Congeniality. Not everyone is best friends with you. So
yeah, who was it? Was it
at all.
Kellyanne? Was it Kellyanne tonight that said I've always been more a team Cara than team Laurel?
Rachel. It was Rachel.
Thank you. Yeah, I knew it
So I
was
was like, yes.
a girl with
Yeah,
shorter hair.
so it just feels a
Yeah.
little bit like, man, Laurel, you gotta just like, I don't know, have some humility sometimes.
She came in second. It was fucked up. She almost beat Laurel last season. Again, we talked about this last week. I won't beat the dead horse again, but if Laurel didn't get all the catch of falling stars from her friendships, Cara would have beat her. Cara surpassed you, Laurel. Boom. I said it. So yeah,
and it's we always talk conspiracies, or I always talk conspiracies on this show. If why would the hell? See, I'm going against my conspiracy now. Why the hell would they put Cara into the one crapshoot game when they need her to come back on this show? Like, that would be so disappointing if she lost to Kellyanne tonight. Like, so now I have to be like, wow, producers, I guess you're not fixing that game for her, because I mean, you should have put her in any other situation, because she would have destroyed Kellyanne and all those. She beat her tonight, but it was much more of a sketchier way for her to win, for sure. So
the red herrings got me every time there was one. Every time there was a cliffhanger on a commercial break, I bought it. Naya, when the ball bounced out, I was like, oh my God, she's messing this up again. Amanda's gonna win. When they showed Kellyanne getting so close, they must have done it like a jump cut and showed Kellyanne being much further along than she really was in that moment. I thought 100% she was winning. And also, extra red herring for Kellyanne was when she said her fortune teller said she was going to be there for 5 weeks. I literally was like, shit, she's going to win. And I mean this. I'm not even saying this ironically.
I didn't hear that part about 5 weeks. I just heard she's going to go up against
I was like,
a girl.
dang, I don't know. Some of these fortune tellers are really on the nose. So now Kelly, I was like, Cara, you're going home. Good to know. Sometimes fortune tellers are not worth your money, guys. So this is
Maybe Kellyanne's psychic wasn't available and she had to use her dog psychic, and they got it confused.
Maybe.
So maybe that's why they said 5 weeks.
It was in dog weeks.
1 week, exactly.
Wrong energy. Dog weeks.
That's what was off. Girls, I have a question for the both of you. When they showed that flashback of Leroy cutting somebody's hair and he was talking with Tony, whose hair was he cutting? Anybody?
Flashback. It was a flashback.
Well, a flashback of
Brandon.
He was cutting Brandon's hair. So Brandon got on the show for the 1 week. He got a free haircut from Leroy, and now he's headed home. Great job, Brandon.
Yeah. I mean, sorry to Brandon and Ryan, because your game wasn't nearly as interesting. Like, congrats, Ryan. Good. I'm not even saying that like sarcastically.
It's like, I don't know, you're both nice. I don't really care, and it's a boring game. So
yeah, exactly.
Go Ryan, I guess, at the end. But if Brandon won, I'd probably feel like go Brandon.
I'm happy for Ryan, because I think he needed to get his feet wet a little bit. He hasn't had that much action in the past year, in the All-Stars that we saw him. So hopefully this is like a confidence builder for him, because
I'm happy for Ryan, because he would have lost the other 3 things to Brandon, most likely. Let's just be real here. So yeah. I mean,
I do think this season, though, even though Cara went in there and won, I think this is just going to be a never-ending uphill battle for her. I don't think,
but
that's the to her team. I don't think they're going to see it that way. They're going to throw her in every damn time.
It's my favorite Cara. It's the underdog Cara. Yeah. She's back. She's been back for 2 seasons now. There's no way she ever turns into that other Cara. Paulie's not even there now, so now she's really going to be like, woe is me. You know we're going to get a Cara Cries episode. You're going to get one of those. I think I saw it in the previews already.
Because she did try to make amends and say, hey, let's move forward and let's work together, because that's where she's always going to lack, is that for some reason people are not willing to work with her. And it's
I'm
just,
confused, Jenna, too. I thought at the end of All Stars season 4, whatever one we just watched, I thought Laurel and her made up and they were going to be okay. They even jokingly said, maybe we can work together now and we'll both be on the varsity squad.
yeah.
Well, hell, you were both on a varsity squad right now, and you're treating her like the freaking water boy or the ball keeper, the equipment manager. I
I
was
think
I was
Laurel
basically the water boy on my
did it.
JV basketball team, by the way.
Because
10th grade.
Johnny gets in Laurel's ear.
I think Laurel had her own ears too.
Yeah, but I do think if it wasn't for Bananas sort of egging her on with it, and the two of them reverting to like, we don't like Cara, she's a dork.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been a little different, because it did seem like Laurel and her mended fences and we're gonna work together. So
I
I don't
thought
know what
so.
Laurel was doing, and that's why Laurel felt bad.
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe the
Realistically.
thought, yeah, I don't know. They just like to pick on her. Like, really, what is the point? Obviously, she's a strong competition. So I understand not wanting to run against her. And they don't know what's going to happen in the final. So the thought is it's going to become an individual game. Let's get rid of the strong person. But if it's not, and if it's a team game, she's the person you want on your team.
Right. And so here's what's
I'm
confusing
missing
is
something. Like,
you nailed it, Jenna. That's how they're playing the game. They're playing it as if they think at the end it's going to be individuals. However, Jordan's team, era 3, instead of putting him down into elimination, which they in theory could have done, not that he would have lost, but they could have tried to put him down there. They're playing the opposite way, where they're keeping Jordan around, because I don't want to run a final against Jordan if I know it's going to be individualized. F that. So they're playing the complete opposite of what era 2 is doing. It's interesting for sure.
And as Jordan said, if you want to run a final, you have to get there. Like, and I'm gonna
yeah.
help our team get there. Like, him and Tori single-handedly helped carry that team in War of the Worlds
Yeah.
to final. And you know who is Cara Maria's coach? That needs a little heart shout out.
CT! Yes!
Yeah. That's who really
Thanks
is
for
her
bringing
coach.
that
That
up.
was so cute.
I love
yeah,
that
we
so
couldn't-
much. And I remember that happening originally when they were all like Team Boston, brother, sister, and then it faded out for a while and now it's back. And I just love it so
Me
much.
too. And he's like, I'll take Cara with the broken hands over any of these people any day. And they won, didn't they, that
Oh, I
season? That he
loved
took Cara
it.
with the broken
Yes.
hand.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard too to be in elimination and hearing people on your team coaching other people, meaning Laurel and Johnny yelling for Kellyanne, but you got CT. You got CT like telling you what to do. That's got to be a good feeling. And I
Yeah.
want Cara to listen, like she can feel however she wants to feel. It's her life, her feelings. But I just want her to have more of that, like, fine, F it, I don't care. Because I can see that she does have a little bit of like that moping around the house, like, why you vote me in? Why you vote me in? Just like you're so good. Just go in
Personal,
there.
and it gets tired. I think
It
she
does,
laughed
yeah.
it off the entire last season or All Stars and was like, I'm going in again, big surprise. It just probably gets old. I mean, I get
She
it. And
did
it's
it.
like,
She
you
did
think
it
you,
tonight too. She's like, let's put on a show. She said it
yeah.
tonight too. Yeah.
But it must wear down on you, as much as I feel like she's a good sport about it and all that stuff. When you think you've turned a corner with someone, I thought her and Laurel did after that season. It's like, really,
Yeah.
again?
But I'm
Just
so proud of her because, like you're saying, it does get tired and it's possible. How many, like, more repetitions means you get more practice, you get better at things. But at the same time, it is so mental. So it probably is like really hard to go in there time and time after again. And she was so nervous going into this one. I had a bad feeling. I was like, I don't like how she's talking to herself, how she's
Yeah.
talking about this game. Again, this was probably the interview after the fact, not the before, but it sounded like it was from before. And I'm like, oof, I
yeah.
don't have a bad feeling about this. But I'm so proud of her. And she's just feeding us what we want to see. We want to see you win every time you get put down. And thank you for doing it. Like, you're giving the
Yeah.
crowd what they want. Like, good for you for never getting that like mental block.
And that's why the moment with CT, he's like, no, you're just a little like defeatist attitude, and I need to see this in your eyes, like the picture.
Yeah.
I need to see you there. And she was like,
And then he couldn't get the picture back up on the wall. He had to lean it against the.
Yeah.
He tried. He tried to.
Yeah.
I don't even. It looks like he was taped. It didn't look like there was a hook or anything. Was there a hook?
Also,
wasn't holding, like the sticky tile wasn't
He just
working.
gave up and just placed it down. I was like, I'm with you,
No.
CT. Like, I was like, there's not even a mark in the wall. How the hell was that hanging there? Was it like taped or something? I couldn't figure it out either. I
Yeah.
was so confused.
I think it was like double-sided sticky tape to the back.
Did you ladies? Oh, sorry, you go first, Pam.
Just about before we can't, this is the other thing, like the CT really was Cara's coach. And the other thing I wanted to say that they touched on tonight that I'm really looking forward to developing is Rylan and Josh liking Naya.
That is what I was
Yes.
going to say to you. I was going to say, did you ladies
Yes.
notice? I say, did you ladies notice the new not threesome? Oh my God. Love triangle. Thank you. Love triangle. Yeah. I was like, did you ladies notice the love triangle we're about to get? Because we got 2 confessionals from the boys. They both like Naya. Who's going to end up with her? I already know because we see it on social media. So
Yeah.
what?
I don't think, again, maybe I'm wrong, and I will totally eat my words if I am. I know Theo and Olivia, it's a romance. I do not think Naya in any reality is going for Josh, and that's like going to happen. They might be like friends and travel with Theo. And you think they're really like a romantic duo?
Well, we know that. I mean, people don't like spoilers, but it's not a spoiler about the season. But we know that the 4 of them went on vacation together because of the whole the bullshit Jemmy crap that happened because of it. Because Jemmy has nothing going on in her life. She got to run her damn mouth. Hey, Jemmy, did you get asked back for season 40? No, because you suck. Maybe you did and you didn't want to do it. Then why didn't you come back? Because you suck. Either way, you suck. That's the end of the story there.
Go suck with Amanda. But go Lavender Lady suck somewhere.
But why, she went with Josh. Maybe they're just friendly, but
Yeah,
obviously Josh has a thing for her. So,
but we're very sure that Theo and Olivia are a couple just because Naya and Josh.
Olivia, we
travel
brought this up.
together.
Olivia got a tattoo that says Theo on the back of her ear or neck or something. My God, they better be a couple. What's she doing that for if they're not?
I'm a sucker for love though too, and I'm always like, they didn't make it, but I think they like love each other. They seem like they really like each other.
I'm super excited. I love their romance so far. They're being super flirty. He's talking about her booty. I love this stuff. I'm in. I'm
like,
hooked.
I've never been more turned on in my life in her confessional when she's putting on her lipstick. Talking about
I think they'd be a cute couple. I see it.
I mean, you think they'll be a cute couple? Yeah. They are a couple. They are a cute couple.
Yeah. I mean, I think they are a cute couple.
But
we haven't seen it play out yet, so I think it's going to be a cute.
Okay, I'm pumped.
Did you guys? I don't know if you talked about this. If you did, I missed it last week. Did you talk about Cara and Pauly?
Well, not
because
after this episode, I was like, man, did they really break up? But sources are saying no, they are still together.
Yeah, and so I gave my conspiracy. I gave my conspiracy about that. I said last week, Jenna, that production said, "Hey, Cara, we want to get more publicity for the show this season. Can you just take down some posts of Pauly so that people will want to?"
Dan, can you give me sharing privileges, or can you share the photo you sent us?
Wait, what I do?
Of Star Lost Boys?
I sent it. That was me.
Pam, I'm sorry you sent this.
That's okay. Dan, can you share your screen or let Jenna share? It is exactly that, because I was like, Pauly doesn't look like Ken. He looks like, and I'm like,
you know, doppelgangers?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I've never seen a more perfect doppelganger.
That is Pauly. Was Star from Cara looks just like Star from the Lost Boys. And now Pauly has morphed into, he's not Michael, he's Michael. He says Michael, but his name in Lost Boys.
So, but Pamela, what made you think of this? You just saw me, like it reminded you of the movie? Is that why
you think Cara is Star? And then I was like, oh my God, now Pauly looks like Michael. What's his name? Lost Boys.
Name another movie with that actress in it. Anybody?
Kiefer Sutherland.
That's Kiefer Sutherland. But can you name another movie with the actress? It's a very famous movie from the 90s, huh?
Twister.
Less than zero. Oh.
I was thinking Twister. Yeah.
I only know that because I watched it recently when the new one was coming out. I was like, let's watch the old one. Yeah. She was like
I gotta go. We got cows. I gotta go. She's on the phone. No one? Yeah, maybe. Anyways, watch that. How was the new movie, by the way, Jenna? Was it good?
don't know. I didn't see it.
Oh,
I don't
Yeah,
like that
no.
you just
you
assumed.
prepped for it, but just never went out and saw the new one. Got it.
No, I like a free movie, and it was available via a free stream. So movies are too expensive now. So
David.
I'm not gonna really go see Twister. I'll wait for it to come out on
It's called Twisters with an S.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
it should be a 2, Twisters.
It should be with a Z.
With a Z.
With a 2, yeah. But
Oh, with
wait,
it
so
backwards too. That's kind of fun.
his name, by the way, for anyone who's screaming this, is David in The Lost Boys. And if anyone's looking for a really fun, sweet, like the human live action version of Bob's Burgers, it's nothing like it, but it's the same kind of feeling. The Neighbors, I think I've talked about this before. It's now all on Hulu or something. It was on in like the early 2000s. And it's with Jamie Gertz, and like their next door neighbors are aliens. It's like a family from New Jersey. It takes place in New Jersey, and it's these people from Bayonne that move into like a nice townhouse, and their neighbors are aliens that get stranded there, but they become best friends. And it's just nice.
The
Jamie
neighbors.
Gertz,
All right.
neighbors.
That's the pick for the week.
Oh, pick of the week. All right. Well, any final thoughts before we go? Because I think we did a great job covering this.
Only final thought is I just want more. I just want to see what
Oh,
happened.
what the hell was TJ talking about the target or the targets at the end? Or maybe wasn't TJ so
I
much.
don't know yet. Yeah.
It's something weird, like you don't want to be the target or you do want to be the target. I don't really understand what the hell that meant.
Yeah, I
but
don't know either. Wasn't it just a tease? I don't think we
it was a
understand.
tease, and it was with the teams, like you're gonna be the target. Or I'm like, what the hell does that mean? But okay.
Yeah, we'll
I
see.
don't know. Yeah,
Alright.
those things are so misleading.
Someone will tell us what they think in the comment section.
And also, I know that they can only do what they can do with those teasers. Like obviously things are going to be spoiled. You're going to see somebody competing, you're going to see somebody in a wearing regular clothes when it's an elimination. So I try not to put like way too much laser focus, but yeah, there's some scenes where I was like, oh, like there's this person in plain clothes. Like, okay, so
I
they make it.
I got one more comment about Amanda real quick, and we'll wrap this up in 30 seconds. She said she wanted to come back and throw every challenge. She said she was good. That was her truth. Her truth was, I'm coming back. I'm going to throw every challenge. Guess what Dan wanted? Dan wanted to see that happen. So there's another reason I wanted her back. God.
She sang that song before. That was her threat last time.
But that's the problem, Pamela. She sucks so bad she can never come back and actually do it. And I want to see it.
Also, she sucks so bad that like throwing a challenge is not even like you could probably just do that anyway.
Right. But that's
when you're trying.
We're depending on you, Amanda, to carry the challenge.
If anything, it'll save her. It'll save her from sucking. She'll be like, I threw that. Well, Amanda, did you really throw it or did you just suck that bad? No,
yeah,
I threw it.
Also,
sure you did, Amanda.
Okay, way to have a certified way to just get thrown in every single time then.
Right.
Like, and also your biggest threat, because you suck so much, the only threat you have is to suck instead of like, I'm going to come back and win and throw you guys in. I'm going to come back and make sure you're in elimination. You can't even offer that.
Suck if you throw me in like, oh no.
I'm going to super suck. I'm going to come back and do what I do.
She's going to suck too. Like you already suck.
Yeah, her bargaining chip is like, I'm gonna lose more.
I'm gonna lose harder.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching us. We had over 100 comments on that episode last week. I'd love to see another 100 down there. Let's see if we can beat the record of 100 and whatever the heck it was last week.
You are such a salesperson. I feel like you were just like somebody on the stock market floor, like, hey, I'd love to see this, and hey, let's see if y'all can do it. You know, if we get 100 views, we'll put out another episode next week. Oh wait, we're doing that anyways.
150 comments.
If we don't, then we're gonna throw the episode.
Shout out to we do really love you guys. Someone said it feels like a family reunion. Agreed. Nice. We're so happy to. Yeah, we love you. Thank you. It does feel.
Other people who not so nice things, but you know what? Keep them coming because we got over 100 comments.
And you know what else is good? Is to be like genuinely so excited about the episodes and the season and what's going to come next, instead of like trying to find the the entertainment. It's like, oh, this is just, it's good. It's just
I gave it an 8 out of 5 out of 10 after 2 episodes. Ladies, want to rank it out of 10 right now? Anybody? Yeah, what is it?
With you, something like that. I'm just glad this is like the old days where it was like, what?
I'm so excited for next week. I can't wait.
I liked Kylan's shirt. Like that was something I guess I didn't hate, like trying to be positive.
That's what you liked, was Back in the day, that's all you liked about the the last episode,
I
last
guess
season?
I like Tori and Jordan like each other. Right. It's like we were trying so hard to find something positive. I was, at least, to say, because it was like, no, this is good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Rank the first 2 episodes in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching
Jenna,
us.
what's your rank?
Oh yeah, what's your
I
rank,
said
Jen?
8.52.
Not a
I'll go
2.
8.
8.
Solid. Because we also have to remember how good it was, you
That's
know?
why I know. My rank might be a little high, but I'm sorry. This was
No,
a
it's so hard to
really,
tell now, you
this is a
know?
really
Yes.
fun couple episodes. If Wes was on the
Yeah.
season, could have been a 9. But you
At a
guys,
really steep decline, though, so the incline feels even higher
maybe.
because it went so dumb with the
I think
Big Brother
recency
CBS
bias
season.
might also have something to do with it, because if we go back and watch that DM and CT season, I'll be like, oh, maybe this is only a 7 so far. But yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
I
All
don't
right,
know if
we're
we
out
can
of here.
get that time back. Okay.
See y'all next week. Bye.